The choice of good delegation is up to you. Do you really care enough about your job to become a good delegator?
I've got too many things to do and not enough time to get it done. I just can't catch up. Too many fires to put out. Talk about pressure. Couldn't get it all done. You want anything done right around here, you better do it yourself. The rest of the department just isn't on the stick. Besides, I don't trust him. First time you give them a little authority. Next thing you know, they got your job and you're on your way out.
Excuse me, will you, Merv? Hello. Why, no. I want to check those reports out again before you go ahead. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You mean that new equipment that you've requisitioned? Well, bring it over tomorrow. I want to see it again. Boy, I'm sorry, Merv. I hope that phone stops ringing for a while. You just can't imagine how many things I have to keep my finger on. And sometimes it takes so long to train anybody to do a job, I'd just as soon do it myself. You know what I mean? Oh, all this paperwork. There's never enough time to catch up on all that paperwork. I'm putting in 13 hours a day now. What do you think of that? Oh, I'm sorry. Sit down, will you, Murph? Yeah, now what can I do for you?
Jim, you asked me at our daily meeting to make an analysis of product sales by territory. Now, I want you to know that this report is just like the one I gave you 10 days ago.
Yeah, I can see that. Just stay right on top of it. Oh, and you might get me a further breakdown by salesman. I'd kind of like to know who's selling all those 142s. And what about that meeting I asked you to set up for me with the region? You remember? I told you exactly how I wanted you to set it up.
Yes, Jim, it's all set. The regional managers will be here the 24th to work out the blue chip promotion.
24th? I can't be here on that date. Now, you should have checked with me first before you set the date.
Did you want to be there, Jim? I mean, you wouldn't have to come. I can handle it.
Oh, no. Merv, you see, I gotta be there because I can see the overall picture a lot clearer than you can. After all, I've been in this thing for years.
Those are all symptoms of poor delegation, and poor delegation is costly. But what about good delegation? It increases overall management effectiveness. It's also a major tool in evaluating performance, in compensating properly, and in controlling for results. Now, will you answer these questions? Number one, do my people know exactly what I expect from them? Number two, have I given my people authority to make decisions? Number three, do I make too many decisions for my people? And number four, do I leave my people alone when they need to be left alone? Okay? There are 4 specific keys to good delegation. The first is an accountability agreement. Next, clear-cut authority. Then controls. And finally, confidence that builds trust and respect. First, let's look at the accountability agreement. Written by superior and subordinate together, this statement zeroes in on specific accountability. It includes 3 items: a job description, key results areas, and specific objectives. By contrast, the traditional job description is usually a long list of duties and may also outline the scope of responsibility. It doesn't consider objectives or results expected. Here's the use of a traditional job description.
Yeah, this is it. This is the same job description I gave to Art, who was purchasing manager before you. Want to take a look at it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems pretty standard. Place orders, process paperwork, supervise vendors, ensure deliveries.
That's important. I want you to be sure and hold those vendors to the scheduled delivery dates. Well, Jane, that just about wraps it up, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
From now on, you're responsible for purchasing. You came to us with a good track record. We expect a lot from you.
Well, I know what my responsibility is, but what am I expected to accomplish? I mean, what's going to make my results any different from Art's?
Now, let's watch the writing of an accountability agreement. This document includes a job description, the assignment of responsibility with authority, key results areas, and accountability for specific objectives. It should achieve commitment because it involves the manager. Here, she plays an indispensable role in determining her accountability.
Well, Jane, I believe you've been aboard about 3 months now, right?
Right, long enough to get a good understanding of corporate objectives.
Good. Up to now, you've been working from the company's job description. Today, we're going to add to that. We're going to put down in writing your own specific objectives as well as your contribution to the company's goals.
Fine.
Now, when it comes to responsibility, I want you to remember that you're not only responsible for what you do yourself, you're also responsible for the work that you delegate to others.
Yes, I understand that.
From our previous meetings, I believe you understand the scope of the job of purchasing manager. You understand the reporting procedures, and you understand your responsibilities to the people you work with.
Yes, I know my duties as far as the job itself goes, but what I don't understand at this stage is exactly what you expect from me in terms of results.
Okay, let's look at the key results areas first. That means what you're paid to get done, the high priority parts of your job.
Well, I think the most important part of my work is to be sure that the proper materials and supplies are available and at the right time.
Beautiful. What else?
And I need to consider the most economical price balance and the quality of material, the number of services being offered with it, and the effectiveness of vendor relations is very important. And, of course, cost levels of my department.
That puts it in a nutshell, Jane. Okay, the key results areas are: 1, make sure proper materials and supplies are available at the right time. 2, to get the most economical price balance and consider the quality of material and the number of services. Oh, yeah, good vendor relations is important. And finally, keep department cost levels down. Now, keep in mind our corporate objective is to secure a 10% return on investment in the coming 12 months. How do you see your department objectives fitting into that?
Well, you know, some people don't look at purchasing as a profit area, but I do.
Good.
I think I can generate profit by following the value engineering specs. In fact, that's one objective I have in mind.
What's that?
Well, for openers, after checking with engineering, I plan to substitute the present semiconductor in the solid-state unit with one equally as good. And I'm looking at 2% less cost.
How about getting better service from your vendors? That's a hot topic right now.
Another objective, and I think this is one we might write down, is to secure better warranties. For instance, on that same semiconductor, I think I can get an 18-month warranty, while the present vendor gives us only a year.
Okay, just a couple more points before we wrap it up. When do you intend to go over all this with your buyers?
Have a meeting scheduled for Friday.
Don't forget the ground rules. And here is the policy statement.
Okay. No increase in personnel. Okay, and I already have this policy on capital expenditures. May I see what we've written so far? Yes, this certainly follows what we've talked about. So, when you ask me if we're right on target, I'll know exactly what you mean.
And when you say, "You bet we are," I'll know you're getting the results we both expect.
Right on.
Once managers set their objectives, they're expected to carry them out. But nothing can happen without authority. Clear-cut authority is the third specific key to delegation. It must be in balance with accountability. When authority is vague in general, delegated piecemeal, or withdrawn rather frequently, the person receiving the delegation becomes ineffective. Here are some examples of authorities that are not clear-cut.
He pulled the rug out from under me again. He said I had the authority to give my people a raise. Now, just as I get them geared up for it, he pulls the okay back.
Flight 442 is now loading at gate 23.
Yeah, but how much authority do I have to get the job done?
Don't worry about it. We'll work that out as we go along.
Well, what does that mean? I don't understand.
Well, like I said before, you'll have enough authority to get the job done. Don't worry about it.
What he means is I should take action. Then he'll let me know if he approves it.
Tony, one thing you have to keep in mind is that we don't get all bogged down in the details of authority here. Now, each manager, based on his own influence, works out his own authority. You see.
And that's the route to company politics, with the net result of organizational chaos. Clear-cut authority should meet 4 requirements. First, transfer of authority must be made from the superior to the subordinate. Second, the authority must be specific enough that the subordinate may proceed without fear of going beyond the authority or of having decisions reversed. Third, it should be granted in advance rather than piecemeal, and authority must equal the subordinate's accountability. Here's clear-cut authority being delegated effectively.
Your plan for the campaign looks fine, Meredith.
What authority do I have to put the plan into action?
Let's agree on that together. We'll put it in writing. Then I'll send around a memo over my signature to everybody involved in case there's a problem. That way everybody will know what authority you have.
Good. Oh, why don't you pull up a stool, Merv? The campaign is due to break in 9 months, and I can't go ahead with any confidence until we set some guidelines on authority.
Well, let's talk money first.
Good idea.
What's your budget for TV airtime?
Well, here's the breakdown, but I may need more.
Now, this is the budget, Meredith. When we drew it up, we agreed on this. You're specifically authorized to spend according to this budget. I think if you examine it, you'll recall that we built in some extra money for special situations.
All right. How about the news releases? Can I ask the PR department to write them?
Oh, yes, that's their job.
Good. I would like final say on the story content. I don't want them releasing anything on this campaign without my approval.
Good idea.
I'll notify the PR director to that effect.
Meredith, this campaign is big and expensive. It's got to be successful. I'll back you up. You know my door is always open if you feel the need to talk about things. But you're accountable now, and you've got the authority to go the project.
I appreciate that, Merv. Well, get set. This campaign is going to dazzle the industry.
The more the subordinate participates in the determination of authority, the more committed and motivated the person becomes. After objectives are set and authorities delegated, it's important to further improve the delegation process by monitoring and controlling the results. That's the 4th master key, controls that control. We need them for 3 reasons. The superior needs to know when corrective action is needed. The subordinate needs feedback to monitor his or her own performance. And it helps stimulate subordinates to move toward objectives in a motivated way. Let's look at some of the weaknesses in traditional control.
Mark, I have a list here of things that have gone wrong. And believe me, if I included everything, I'd have a book.
What do you mean, Will?
Well, for one thing, the men you've had working on final assembly line repairs should have been busy setting up the new packaging machine. That's top priority.
Nobody told me that. The last word I heard was to get the assembly line back in operation.
Didn't I tell you the front office okayed a later target date for the solid state units?
Oh, no. Nobody told me that.
Well, I may have forgotten to send that memo on to you. But you should have known I wasn't concerned about final assembly when I didn't keep on you about it. Another thing, the maintenance standard figure shows that you're way over on overtime. I got the printout last Tuesday. It's your men who are getting the overtime.
Look, Will, we had to work overtime to complete the final assembly. Now, I've only got 12 men. We can't do both jobs at one time unless I have authority to hire outside contractors.
Well, I'll have to think about that. But in the meantime, and until further notice, I want on my desk a daily written report listing overtime expense, parts, the whole bit.
Okay. You want to control it all? You worry about it.
Control doesn't mean waving red flags in a person's face. It means waving yellow flags and waving them early enough that the person can correct the course if there's trouble ahead. Sensible feedback and a meaningful measurement of performance make good yellow flags. That, in combination with the best control of all, self-control, stems from an understanding of what's to be done, commitment, and motivation. Remember, the purpose of control is to build positive motivation for positive results. And now, let's play that last scene again, and do it right this time.
Oh, yeah. The weekly cost reports. Jeez.
Overtime has really gone through the roof. I gotta have more help. Without manpower, I'll never make the deadline for that new product. Well, what I've got to do is to come up with some specifics on exactly what it'll cost, then go over the whole thing with Wilson.
Sit down, will you? What's up, Mark?
Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that I'm over on overtime. I've had to make the new packaging equipment set up and repair the assembly line breakdown at the same time. I don't have enough people to do both jobs at once, so too much overtime.
Well,
that's the report.
Bad news, all right. Have we fallen behind on the new completion date?
Not yet, but we will unless some action is taken. And that's the good news. I have a recommendation.
Good, let's hear it.
I want to bring in some outside contractors for the packaging setup.
How much over budget will that be?
I'll take a look. There's the budget and my recommendation.
Well, I think that's all we can do. Those unexpected breakdowns sure put a kink in the schedule. I'm glad you're keeping a close eye on the situation, Mark. Let's beef up the team, win the ball game.
Mark's committed, motivated to reach the objectives. With adequate feedback, he can do his own monitoring. Wilson's best controls are in Mark himself. Okay, the fourth master key is confidence. Confidence to avoid interfering with him when he needs to be left alone, but not like this.
I want to be real sure we've communicated. Can you give me some feedback?
Well, I think I really got this down. I know what I'm accountable for. You've made it clear that I have full authority for all personnel and financial decisions, and I really appreciate that. I know the kind of performance data you want and when. Jack, I really feel I know what you want, and I can't wait to get started. But, well, what'll I do if I run into a problem that I can't handle?
Well, get back to me, Ed. I'll help you figure it out. You know I've got a lot of confidence in you and your department. I really trust and respect you. But there's one more thing.
Well, what's that, Jack?
Here's precisely what I want you to do. Get back to me every day at exactly 3 o'clock on this project. I want to check every financial and personnel decision you make. I want to know what's happening every minute.
He blew it. He didn't have enough confidence in himself to trust Ed when it really counted and to leave him alone. Let's see how a no-nonsense manager handles that same situation.
Jack, I really think I understand what you want, and I'm anxious to get started. But, well, what do I do if I run into a problem that I can't handle?
Well, get in touch, Ed, and I'll help you figure it out. You know, I've got a lot of confidence in you and your department. I really trust and respect you. But there's one more thing.
What's that, Jack?
I'm counting on you to make the right decisions. I know you can handle it. If you do get into a bind, let me know. But I don't think you'll have to. It's your baby. I'm just interested in results. Okay?
Good.
Okay, let's glance back for a moment to those 4 master keys to delegation. They include an accountability agreement, clear-cut authority, effective controls, and confidence to leave the subordinate alone. Now, let's look at an actual step-by-step delegation. Here's Jerry Baxter, a personnel director who moves through a no-nonsense delegation process.
Well, Kathy, we've had some changes in personnel policy. Those changes should be reflected in our personnel policy manual and our employee handbook. You know, we're in the early stages of implementation of our new management system.
Yes, lots of changes.
Right. One of the most logical ways of putting the plan into motion is with the new people that we're hiring.
Those first few days of employee orientation are prime time.
Right. Let me tell you, Kathy, what this project is all about. You see, the employee handbook and the personnel policy manual that our supervisors use should reflect the way that we operate now. And we need complete revisions in both these books. Now, Kathy, I think that you are the right person to handle that project.
Why me?
I'll tell you why. Because you are the personnel specialist. Because you understand the complexities of change in our system. And because you've got a skill that very few others have. You can write clearly and to the point.
So far, we've seen Jerry set the stage, tell Kathy what the project is, and he helped her to see why the project was important, and that's good. But now comes the crucial point in delegation, setting and communicating objectives. It could be badly handled this way.
Okay, Kathy, you know what the project is, and you know why we need to do it. Now, I've made a list of specific objectives for you to meet. And here's exactly how I think you should meet them. Now, let's get busy.
Fortunately, Jerry doesn't really function that way. How should he function? By working with Kathy, mutually setting objectives, and getting Kathy's involvement, conviction, and commitment.
The project really sounds good, Jerry, but I'm worrying about having the time to do it.
Well, that's something we'll just have to work out. Kathy, have a seat. Now, Kathy, remember the accountability agreement that we both wrote? One of the main objectives was to revise the orientation program to acquaint the new employees with our principles and our goals, right?
Right, and the policy manual would be a good place to start.
Right, and I see the handbook as being based on the manual itself to a large extent. Now, why don't we write down our objectives, okay?
Well, as I see it, my objective is to conform the handbook to our new policy by a certain date.
Right, that sounds good. Now, let's discuss it.
Both books need to reflect our new management systems. As you said, our philosophies and goals. They need to be brief, but the language of the handbook should be friendly.
More informal than the policy manual.
Both will need a glossary, an index, and to be organized by topic.
Good. What about the binding?
I'd like to think about it, but maybe we might try a loose leaf type.
Oh.
Say, what's my deadline on this?
Well, could you have it all written in, say, 8 weeks?
I don't know. Like I said, it's the time factor that bugs me. I've got another manpower survey to do right now.
Well, could you delegate any part of that to someone else?
Maybe. Dave could work on it. He's been helping me.
Good. I'll leave that up to you. If you delegate, could you meet the 8-week deadline?
Well, yes. What's my authority on money?
Kathy, this is your project. You might want to consider using our own shop for the printing.
That's my decision, then.
Exactly.
Will I have authority on layout?
Kathy, you've got the ball. Now, why don't we sit and talk on the 31st? I think it's important that I give you final approval so you can proceed on your own.
Now Jerry will get feedback and set controls to monitor results.
Now, so I'm sure that we both understand each other in this. Will you tell me the way that you understand this project?
Let's see. We need to rewrite both the employee handbook and the personnel policy manual. This will give all our employees, both old and new, a better understanding of our policies and company goals. We've both agreed on the date the books will be finished and on my authority in the project on money and printing, etc.
Right. And you'll give me a preliminary outline in 10 days.
Right. And I'll write the first section in the policy manual, and you can know how I'm making out.
Sounds good. All you have to show me are the results. I don't care to see all the activities. But if there are any deviations from our schedule, good or bad.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Good. It sounds like we both understand this project, Kathy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the hardest part begins. I've got to leave her alone to do the job. Give her direction, but not directions.
This new project is going to make some big demands on my time. But I'd like to finish that manpower survey. Could I trust Dave to handle it? What's the matter with me? Sure I can. I just hate to let go because I started it. But my priorities have been changed. I need to deal with that. Yes, Dave. I believe you're the right person for the job.
Yes, delegate. It makes sense. Let's briefly review. For good delegation, you should have an accountability agreement that includes a job description, key results areas, and objectives, drawn by superior and subordinate together to achieve involvement, conviction, and commitment. Next, give clear-cut authority that balances accountability. Third, controls that really control the delegation. And finally, confidence. Confidence to leave your subordinates alone when they should be left alone. Now, let's look again at the points from our actual delegation scene. For good delegation, you should set the stage. Of course, present the project to be delegated and tell why the project is important. This is where real motivation comes in. Now, mutually set objectives for involvement, conviction, and commitment from your people. Then, you transfer authority. And finally, get feedback from the subordinate and set controls for monitoring results. You build organizations, you build people, you build morale by doing an effective job of delegating. But there's still one more critical question before these rules of delegation will work for you. Will you use delegation to become a better manager?